Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Akib Rashid. So, I will start with our research. Okay, how? How can raw meat be like this? So, up here we have different types of salt. Down here we see raw meat on day 1 and processed meat on day 180. Okay, so the big question is how can raw meat be like this? The answer is sodium based additive. They are the key to preservation, color, safety and texture. That's all. So let's jump to the function and types.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Syafiqah Nabila binti Ramli. Next, I will explain the function of salts and sodium-based additives in meat processing. The first function is preservation. Salts help reduce water activity in meat, which inhibits the growth of spoilage microorganisms and extends the shelf life of meat products. The second function is flavor enhancement. Salt improves the natural flavor of meat and makes the product more palatable and appealing to consumers. The third function is texture improvement. Sodium-based additives increase the water holding capacity of meat, resulting in a juicier texture and better binding between meat proteins. Next is color development. Additives such as sodium nitrite help develop and maintain the characteristic pink color of cured meat, making the product more attractive. Lastly, they contribute to food safety by inhibiting harmful bacteria such as Clostridium botulinum, thereby reducing the risk of foodborne illness and ensuring the meat is safe for consumption. Now, let's look at the main types of salts and sodium-based additives used in meat processing. The first is sodium chloride, or common table salt. It is the most widely used salt and mainly functions as a preservative, flavor enhancer, and texture improver. Second is sodium nitrite, which is commonly used in cured meat products. It helps prevent bacterial growth, develops the characteristic cured meat color, and enhances flavor. The third is sodium nitrate. It is converted into sodium nitrite during the curing process and is mainly used in long-term cured meat products. Next is sodium phosphate. These additives improve water retention, enhance texture, and increase cooking yield. Next is sodium ascorbate, which accelerates the curing process and helps maintain the color of meat products. Lastly, sodium erythorbate acts as an antioxidant by reducing oxidation and helping to stabilize the color of cured meat.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Naim bin Muhammad Nasir. So I will continue about the health issues of the salt and sodium based additive in processed meats. So excessive consumption of salt and sodium based additive in processed meat products has become a major public health concern worldwide. Although sodium chloride and other sodium based compounds are essential in meat process for preservation, flavor enhancements, and texture improvement, numerous studies have shown that high sodium intake may contribute to various chronic diseases. According to Kim 2021, excessive sodium consumption is strongly associated with hypertension, stroke, and cardiovascular diseases. The World Health Organization, which is we all known as WHO, recommends that sodium intake should not exceed 2 grams per day, equivalent to approximately 5 grams of salt daily, due to the increasing risk of chronic health complications linked to high sodium diets. The article also states that processed meat products contribute more than 20 30% of sodium intake in daily diets, highlighting the importance of controlling sodium level in meat processing. Furthermore, a research in 2024 explained that continuous consumption of processed meat containing high level of sodium-based additive may affect vital organs such as our hearts, kidney, stomach, brain, and blood vessel. The review identifies several serious health conditions associated with excessive sodium intake, including hypertension, ischemic heart disease, myocardial infarction, arterial stiffness, endothelial dysfunction, and stroke. The author also emphasized that lifestyle disease related to high sodium intake may begin during childhood due to the frequent consumption of salty and highly processed food. In addition, sodium nitrate and sodium nitrites, which are commonly used as curing agent in processed meats, have raised concern due to their carcinogenic potentials. The article reported that sodium nitrate may lead to the formation of N-nitrosamines, which are carcinogenic compounds associated with gastric cancer and other forms of cancer. Sodium nitrite has also been linked to gastrointestinal complication, nausea, and stomach disorder. Moreover, the review highlighted that high intake of nitrite and nitrate containing processed meats in children may increase the risk of cancer development later in life. Other sodium-based additives used in meat processing may also contribute to organ-related complications. For example, sodium phosphate and sodium pyrophosphate are associated with chronic kidney diseases, irregular heartbeats, abdominal pain, urinary tract complication, and weakened immune function. Meanwhile, monosodium glutamate, which is well known as MSG, commonly used as a flavor enhancer, has been associated with oxidative stress, hyperglycemia, lesions in brain tissues, and accelerated heartbeats in certain studies. Respiratory complications have also been reported for additives such as sodium metabisulfides and sodium hexametaphosphates, which may contribute to bronchitis, lung irritation, and systemic acidosis. Despite this health concern, the article emphasized that sodium cannot be completely removed from processed meat product because it plays an essential role in ensuring food safety, stability, and sensory quality. Therefore, research and health organizations have encouraged sodium reduction strategies, product reformulations, clear sodium labeling, and consumer education to reduce excessive sodium intake while maintaining product quality. Several countries have also introduced sodium reduction policies and recommendations to address the growing health risks associated with processed meat consumption. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, next, I would like to explain about the other alternatives that can replace sodium-based additives in meat processing. As consumers become increasingly health conscious, there is growing demand for meat products with lower sodium content. However, reducing sodium is challenging because salt is essential, not only for flavor, but also for food preservation, texture, and shelf life. Therefore, the meat industry has developed several alternatives that help reduce sodium without compromising product quality or safety. The first alternative is potassium chloride or KCl. It is the most widely used substitute for sodium chloride. Potassium chloride provides similar preservative and functional properties while lowering the sodium content of meat products. However, when used in high concentrations, it may produce a bitter or metallic aftertaste. For this reason, manufacturers also often blend potassium chloride with regular salt to maintain a more acceptable flavor. The second alternative is the use of calcium and magnesium salts, such as calcium chloride and magnesium chloride. These salts are partially replace sodium chloride while improving water retention and contributing to food preservation. Nevertheless, excessive amounts may negatively affect the texture and flavor of the final product, so careful formulation is necessary. Another important approach is the use of natural flavor enhancer. For examples, it include yeast extracts, mushroom extracts, seaweed extracts, herbs, spices, and umami-rich ingredients such as tomato powder. These ingredients enhance the perception of saltiness, allowing manufacturers to reduce sodium levels while maintaining consumer acceptance and product taste. The four alternatives involve the functional ingredients, including phosphates, plant-based proteins, dietary fibers, and hydrocolloids. These ingredients help maintain water holding capacity, improve texture, and increase juiciness, and enhance product stability, especially when salt levels are reduced. Finally, the novel processing technologies also play as important role in sodium reduction. Technologies such as high pressure processing or HPP, pulse electric fields known as PEF, vacuum tumbling, and optimized curing techniques improve microbial safety and maintain product quality. As a result, manufacturers can reduce sodium while still producing safe and high quality meat products. For summary, this alternative enable the meat industry to lower sodium content while preserving the quality, safety, and sensory characteristic of processed meat products. Now, I will explain the regulations governing sodium-based additives in meat processing. Food regulations are essential because they ensure that sodium-based additives are used safely and within approved limits to protect consumer health. The first aspect is maximum permitted levels. Food safety authorities establish legal limits for additives such as sodium nitrate, sodium nitrate, and sodium phosphates. These limits help prevent excessive sodium intake while ensuring that the additives remain effective in preserving meat products and preventing microbial growth. Secondly, manufacturers must comply with food safety standards, including good manufacturing practices or GMP, and the hazard analysis and critical control points, commonly known as HACCP. These systems ensure that food additives are used responsibly and only at the minimum effective level required to achieve their intended purpose. The third aspect is labeling requirements. The processed meat products must clearly display the sodium content in the nutrition information panel. In addition, food additives must be listed by their approved names or identification codes. Any marketing claims such as reduced sodium or low sodium must comply with official regulatory definitions to avoid misleading consumers. At the international level, organizations such as the Codex Alimentarius Commissions establish global food standards and maximum permitted levels for food additives. The World Health Organization, or WHO, recommends that adults consume less than 2,000 milligrams of sodium per day, which is equivalent to approximately 5 grams of salt, to reduce the risk of hypertension and cardiovascular disease. Meanwhile, the Food and Agriculture Organization, or FAO, works together with WHO through the Codex Alimentarius Commission to develop internationally recognized food additive standards. In Malaysia, food additives are regulated by the Ministry of Health Malaysia under the Food Act 1983 and the Food Regulations 1985. These regulations specify which sodium-based additives are permitted. their maximum allowable levels, and the labeling requirements that manufacturer must follow to ensure consumer safety. To conclude, the regulations play a vital role in ensuring that sodium-based additives are used safely, responsibly, and transparently. Together with sodium reduction alternatives, these regulations help the meat industry produce healthier products without compromising food safety or quality. That's all from me. Thank you.
So, in conclusion, sauce and sodium additive are essential in meat processing. They preserve the product, enhance flavor and texture, and maintaining quality. However, they are also strictly regulated due to health concerns like high sodium intake. As the industry evolves, we see a clear shift toward safer alternative and reduce sodium formulation. So the key takeaway is in this was sauce salt in is essential, but balance is the key. Use is wisely and innovate responsibility. Thank you.